Hello, Wiggy. Hi, sir. We have some questions from the audience about you and why you're so cute. Oh, by the way, I never introduced my dog. Actually, this is Wiggy. He is 6 years old, turned 7 in April. He is the light of my life, the apple of my eye. Come. He's the light of my life, the apple of my eye. Now talk for me.
Hello. I'm just sitting here talking into the microphone. I feel like my voice sounds nasally right now.
You do sound nasally.
Yeah, what's going on?
Are you a little sick?
No, I don't think so. I feel
That's
fine.
disgusting.
I said no.
Out. Oh, okay.
Wig.
Hi, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to the Impetuous Podcast. My name is Aubrie Williams, and I'm your host. And we're also on, I was going to wear an orange shirt today with these purple pants, and I realized how ridiculous I looked. So I decided to change.
You look like a Teletubby, maybe.
Yeah.
But like in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly was going to ask you to wear a suit.
Actually?
Yes. I was going to
can
ask
go
you.
change.
No, it's okay. I was going to ask you to wear a suit, and I was going to wear pajamas.
That'd be like a good dichotomy. Like a
And
little different.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, I think you're overdressed.
Oh.
I thought that would be a good joke.
You're trying to set me up.
Yeah.
I would go for it, honestly. I don't mind being the bit if it's funny.
I think I realized recently because of Maudie, if you guys don't know, my best friend's name is Maudie. We're trying to get her on the pod. It's not working.
She's interesting. I think she'll talk a little bit.
Oh, she won't.
Won't
She won't talk.
What are you talking about?
Because her job is like.
Oh, she wants to keep it?
Just a lot of people who I want on the podcast have real 9-to-5 jobs and they're afraid.
Wow, that's weird. Why do people do that?
Have 9-to-5 jobs? You don't have a 9-to-5. You have a 9-to-5 job.
Not really. No, it's not really 9 to 5.
Let's do a real introduction. Okay.
Let me sit up. Sometimes I slouch. If I'm ever slouching, just be like,
okay.
Sit up.
Oh, he likes you.
Hello.
So, you're not just an estate agent. You are a real estate agent.
No joke.
Yeah, like you're the real
Straight
deal.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Hoboken.
Yeah.
And New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm a licensed real estate agent in New Jersey. And my account is the Hoboken Realtor on Instagram.
The Hoboken Realtor.
I am confidently not the best agent in Hoboken.
Why?
It's just a good tag.
Oh.
And it gets attention.
Okay.
Yeah, which is good. It's been built up a little bit.
Did you ever realize that realize? No, that's not what I'm going to say.
Real eyes?
Yes. No, but did you ever realize that it's called real estate agent? Like it's like literally saying real estate?
Yes. Yes.
Because what does the real have to do?
So real estate has to do... Keep going?
Keep talking.
Okay. Real estate, I think, is called real estate because real property is physical property. And that's what we're selling.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you're the real
property.
deal.
No, it's kind of like you can be a joke if you want, but the things you sell are real. I mean, unless we get into like the metaverse. You know, there's metaverse real estate agents.
No, I had no idea.
I don't know anything else about it.
You
I
mean
just know
for
they
like
exist.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah, sure. They could sell his house. If they like,
Wait,
if he built one.
Wait. Are you talking in the metaverse?
Yeah. Yeah, like you can like sell a home in the metaverse. I have no
What?
experience in it, but I've heard about it. We should get someone else. Make a note of that. Find somebody in tech. Bring them on. Ask them about it. Go.
Wiggy, you're gonna be a real pain in my ass.
A real pain in your ass.
Yeah. That's gonna be the real joke. That's gonna get real dead real soon.
Oh, no hands.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna get beat up.
So you're a real estate agent.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of feel like I'm just like a professional fun haver. Like I just like to enjoy life, honestly. Like,
What does that mean?
I just do things that are fun. People are like, "What are you doing?" It's like 11 a.m. Like, why aren't you at work? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm doing something that I want to do.
Like what? Like what do you do that you want to do?
Well, it's cold now. It's January or February. Wow, that was quick. But I like pickleball.
Oh my God, it's February 2nd.
3rd. No, 2nd.
I didn't
Tomorrow's
even
the 3rd.
realize. I didn't even realize.
Can you come up with a new?
I need.
While I'm talking, just think of a new word that has the word "real" in it. And let's use that.
I am. What's the word?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
A host of a podcast.
Thank you. No, what the
model.
is the word? Pontificate. I'm pontificating. That's the word. Do you know what that means? I can tell you. You don't have to get out your phone to Google it. It's not embarrassing that you don't know the name.
I got a phone call. Don't worry about it.
Pontificating means explaining things annoyingly, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would really describe it as like expressing one's opinions in a way that's considered annoyingly pompous and dogmatic, but you can go with either one.
First of all, you typed that way too fast.
Why?
I don't know. You literally pulled out your phone and like just did some magic.
Yeah, it was there. It was like real magic, though.
No. You're a man.
So?
You don't know real magic. Magic comes from women.
Okay. I think it's a beautiful thing that women have children, honestly. I think it is. It's a really interesting thing. Weird, right? Isn't it a miracle that like women can actually have children? Bad little hunch over your back, and then all of a sudden, like you got to feed the baby and you can't drink alcohol and you can't go party with your friends. Like, I mean, I've never had one before, but obviously I'm a man, so I'm not able to have one. But like I've seen, it's crazy. Think about how many things have to go correctly. It's a 9-month process. There's trimesters, right? You want to go on a boat, you get seasick. Who knows? Your baby might get sick too. You got to be really careful about the things that you do. Other women who are pregnant and like you got to get big and then bigger. And then eventually you're just walking around and you got like this.
You do have to be really careful about the things that you do. That's why it's important to wear condoms. Mm-hmm. And this episode is brought to you by Julie.
Trojan.
Just kidding. I fucking wish. So
it's a good sponsor.
I actually wanted to ask you like a couple serious questions about real estate because I literally have no idea about real estate and I want you to teach me.
Cool.
What is being a real estate agent?
It's different for every single person because some people are productive and some people are not. And that's in all seriousness.
Do you work off commission?
Yes, only commission.
So if you don't sell a house, you don't get paid?
Yeah. Yeah. I've gone a pretty long time without getting paid before. Like when I first got in the business, the longest time I went was about 4.5 months. And during that time, I made $1,000. Yeah.
What did you do? Were you like paying rent and everything? Could you afford it?
At that time, actually, I was living at my dad's house. So it wasn't really a big deal.
Yeah.
I kind of had like no lifestyle. I was kind of just like in complete grind mode. I was waking up super early to go to the gym, doing like the whole miracle morning affirmations and all that good stuff.
Just manifesting, trying to sell a house.
Yeah, but I manifested $1,000 apparently in 4 months. But with that said, like you can also collect huge checks on the other side. So it's kind of like keeping your emotions between the lines when you're in those ebbs and flows is extremely important.
Yeah.
Or else you'll just like quit the business.
You know, that's like literally the same as modeling.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, you will go months without work. I mean, not me. Let's be real.
Of course not. Just
I'm kidding. Let me knock on wood. No, but we go like weeks, months without working.
Yeah.
And also, we don't get paid. The client has 90 days to pay. So we could work a job in February and not get paid until May. But if you're like me, you save your money to buy a new laptop for a podcast and you have it because you save.
And eventually you'll have like a production manager. You'll have a stage manager here.
Honestly,
A
that
script
is the dream.
screen. What's the screen called?
My friend told me to have it there.
Like a script? Or questions?
Not necessarily, but like everything that I have here.
Yeah.
Like you can see.
Yeah, why don't you just airplay it? You can do it right now.
I don't want you to see the questions.
Oh, I just want to look. If you
I want you to be completely caught off guard.
Okay. Well, I am looking at you. I'm not looking over there.
That's okay.
It's all right. Not my podcast.
Yeah, it's not.
Just
that's
suggestions.
Right. That's right. Because
Okay.
you're a man.
Yes, excellent.
I'm a woman.
I am inferior right now. I'll take that.
What are the hot spots in New Jersey?
Hotspots? Mm-hmm. Like for magma and lava? Like what are you talking about?
No, for real estate. Like
There are some places.
wait, but if you know the answer to that one, also, I would like to know what the hot spots are. Like
So there's like a lot of tectonic shifting that happens.
for reals?
Yeah.
In New Jersey.
All day. All day,
okay,
dude.
I know
the
that.
The plates collide.
I do know that, but it's mostly under the ocean
Yeah.
because there's not a lot of mountains here.
Yeah, there's not. You got to drive, what, an hour at least?
What, a Bear Mountain?
Where's Bear Mountain? What's that?
I don't know.
Pennsylvania?
I went there one time.
Yeah. You just name any animal. It's like Deer Park Mountain, you know, Beaver Creek Mountain.
Lion. Fuck. I don't feel on right now.
Name an animal.
A big owl goat.
I know, right? Algoat. Those are scary. What are the hot spots in New Jersey?
Like, where are people buying nowadays?
Yeah, so there are a lot of rising markets. So what you want to look for is investment from people who have a lot more money than you have in areas. At least that's kind of how I dumb it down to like explain it to like the everyday person.
Dumb it down for me.
Okay, wonderful. So you want to find people who are putting up buildings like the one that we live in areas where it doesn't necessarily make sense to you yet.
Gentrification?
That's something that happens.
But is that what you're saying?
Kind of. I think gentrification, I don't think I know enough about that topic specifically to like actually talk on it, but I know
Isn't gentrification when you have like low income areas and they basically tear it down to make like high income areas?
Essentially, yeah. And there's a really negative connotation to it, which I think is like fully justified because it's people who are being displaced, and that's one of the.
A lot of them are get kicked out of their homes.
Yeah.
And have nowhere to live.
Yeah, it's true. It's a really sad thing. So you try to like. There's always the flip side to any sort of like any change in life, honestly. So it's really unfortunate. Wiggy's looking at me like, shut the fuck up.
No.
I don't want to talk about that. I think that's a touchy subject. But,
yeah, totally.
But kind of.
This area was gentrified.
It definitely was. So, I mean, it's a new population that lives here versus who was living here 5 years ago. I mean, nobody was living on this land that we're on right now 5 years ago, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of factories and industrial buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what you're looking for when you're trying to find a spot to invest in, again, like to go back to the first thing is just buildings that are going up in areas that don't necessarily make sense to you yet. Because you don't necessarily need to know why an area is going to get better. But it's kind of easy to figure out sometimes. Like,
have there ever been times where someone, at least in your experience, where someone said that an area was going to be worth something incredible and then it turned out it didn't?
Yeah.
Really?
So
recently?
Do you know Bayonne?
Yes.
So people have been saying Bayonne and Newark. So people have been saying Bayonne and Newark are changing.
I've heard Newark is changing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've been saying it according to like the people who I talk to. Like at least like my dad, he's 70. My friend's dad, he's like 65. So they've lived around here their whole lives. They've been saying that for like 50 years.
But it is changing though, right?
Yeah, but it's so small. You know, something that I look at, and I will say some towns that like I think are good, but something that I look for is like, how much space do you actually have to fill up? Like Hoboken is like a square mile and a half, so it's tiny. So to change an area that's only a square mile is a lot easier than to change an area that's like Newark, which is probably, I don't even know, 50, 60 square miles. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know how big it is, but it's a lot bigger than Hoboken. So that's why like Jersey City downtown turned around in like 25 years or 30 years, really, because it's also
so you're
like
saying,
2 square miles.
So you're saying that Newark, in order to change, it's going to take like 25, 30 years.
Yes. So it is
or
shifting.
Even longer.
It is shifting. It's just like proportionately, there's so many more blocks to fill up.
Yeah.
And that's why I think personally, that's why it takes longer. And then also there's just more investment here. So like the closer you are to public transportation, it's going to be an important thing. You need like basic things like public utilities, like water and electricity. That's really important. Proximity to waterways. Like obviously the Hudson River is there's a lot of ships going in and out at all times. It's a big shipping port.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that's one of the reasons this area has become so popular.
Do you sell mostly homes or apartments?
It's a mix
of both.
Yeah. It's a mix of condos, single families, and like 2 to 4 families. Mm-hmm. So like that would be like multifamily residential. And then like some bigger deals come in like 5+ units. Like we did a 6 unit last year. I did a dentist office this year, actually.
Oh, wow.
That was a lot of fun. So like whatever.
Wait, why was it fun?
It was just like different, honestly. Yeah. Cause like
you were selling to people who are dentists.
Yeah. I was leasing dental space.
Okay.
Yeah. For a landlord to my friend.
Was it?
No,
actually,
not
I'm
that
going to bleep that out. I don't want people to know where
Was
I live. Yeah.
Apparently that guy's cool. He's an influencer.
I can imagine. He does a lot of cosmetic stuff. I saw his website. I was actually looking 2 days ago.
Oh, really? Cool.
Because I want them to be my dentist.
Nice. You should bring him on here. You should see if he's
honestly,
open to
I should.
It. Yeah, that's a good idea.
He's gonna look at my views and be like, "You're not ready. You're not ready."
Believe in the vision. And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Everyone starts somewhere. So some areas just to like get off that if we want to move on. There's some areas like I like Bloomfield. The Jersey City Heights is an area that's changing quickly.
Well, because it's small, right?
It's
tiny.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
It's probably like 2 square miles roughly, if I had to guess. Another area is Carteret. Actually, it's right on the water. They're building like a huge infrastructure, like a walkway and some parks on the waterfront over there.
Wow.
I think right across the river from that is Staten Island. So that helps out. And then they're also, I don't know if this is 100% true, but they were talking about building a ferry from Carteret all the way up to New York.
Actually, I heard that too.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
Yeah. And then Bayonne too, they're talking about the same ferry system, but that's been like, it's projected right now 2026 to be finished, but it's been,
Have they even started?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
it's been
there's no
talked
way.
about for so long.
Do you know that there was another tunnel that was being created from Jersey to Hoboken? I
Really?
mean, from Jersey to Manhattan. I think it's either in between the Lincoln and the Holland or right above it, in between the Washington and the Holland. I mean, in Lincoln.
It would probably be up there because like it wouldn't make sense for it to be between the two because you'd have to enter from like mid Hoboken.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense. But maybe like Weehawken or something.
It was like a couple $billion
Is it still
project. No, it stopped
Oh my God.
years ago.
They just like dug in.
I think it was in the 90s. They stopped. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I want to look that up.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
Yeah. Do you know how a tunnel is made?
Kind of. Not 100%.
It's made underground.
Oh.
For the longest time, I thought it was in the water.
Oh. Wow.
Did you know that?
No, I thought it was above ground.
I hate you. I hate you.
Wait, so it's like below the river? It's not in the water?
No.
Oh my God.
Are
that's
you being serious about
No,
that?
I'm serious. Right
Okay.
now. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. You have to
I know I
go
was being
under the
sarcastic.
water.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Holy
crazy.
shit. I have no idea. I think the Hudson River is like 100 something feet deep. Like it's a deep river.
Yeah.
Compared to most.
They basically just take a thing that goes like this and dig it out.
Yeah.
And then I think they take the soil out.
That's
And then
so
they
crazy.
build the walls and they keep going as they're building the walls and digging.
Whoa, that's so wild.
So, what
didn't know
goes
that.
into a showing? Do
A
you ever
showing.
do you ever have to actually, let me backtrack. How do people actually, I already know the answer to that, but the audience doesn't. You work for a company and they get you the people who work with you,
Yeah.
who want to work with you.
They don't get them. I get them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to do the research.
Yes. Yeah. It's called, I call it prospecting.
Yeah. How does
Yeah.
that process work? Is that
So-
water or coffee?
Crack. Can you hear that?
That's why
Could you
you're
hear that from like
up.
right? Could you hear that from right here or no?
What?
Like if
yeah,
I,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
said it
yeah.
like that?
Yeah, no, I can hear it.
No, not you, but like, can they hear it?
Yeah, because you have a mic, and then I can
Well,
always
no, but
adjust
if
the
it's like
audios.
that, I guess it's just quiet.
I can hear it.
I'm just curious.
I told you those headphones suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets quieter, but naturally. So
Oh,
yeah,
you
so
didn't,
two
you
questions.
didn't want people to know that it's crack?
Do you actually think I'm like energized right now?
Yes.
Really? I
Yeah.
feel fine.
You're super high up.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I had no idea, honestly. I just got I got a new coach today, actually. It was my first coaching call at like 12 o'clock right before this, so I think I'm probably excited about that. That's
Was it
probably why.
in person or virtual?
It was on the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like an hour-long call.
About what?
It just... He needs to get to know my business and like what I do on a day-to-day basis before he can help me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a lot of honest questions. Like, what are you doing every day when you wake up in the morning? Are you actually prospecting when you should? Are you setting your schedule the day before?
Oh,
Are
it's like a
you-
life coach, not a gym coach.
No, not a gym coach.
Okay.
But I did just sign up for...
Okay.
Oh, my ADD is like coming out right now.
That's okay.
Okay.
I don't
So
think anyone
self-conscious about
cares.
it. No one gives a fuck.
Wait,
My
you're
brain's-
self-conscious about your ADD?
I'm just like
My
scatter.
ADD is the one thing that I want everyone to know about.
Why? Because it's funny?
No, because I'm fucking all over the place all the time. So I just want people to know, hey, just so you know, I have ADD.
You
Because-
just wear it.
Yeah, I know. I should get it tattooed. ADD.
So the two questions you had were what goes into a showing, and then you also said like what is the process for prospecting and like finding business. So those are good questions because I didn't know how anything worked before I got in the business. So for a showing, people will contact you, and they just tell me that they want to see a property.
Question.
Aubrie wants to see a property.
Do you find that people contact you through your website or your Instagram? Because I know I know you do a lot of stuff on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, it's different. Most of the business that I do is actually referrals.
Okay.
So that's why. So this will tie like back into the prospecting, But a showing is very simple. Someone calls you, they tell you they want to see a property, and you set up a showing on an app called Showing Time. So it's coordinated through the MLS. Do you know what that is?
App.
The MLS?
Isn't that the way that you do a paper in college?
Oh no, it is, but it's different. This is the multiple listing service.
Oh.
You know Zillow and Realtor.com?
Yes.
All those sites. So all those sites and apartments.com, like they're all inclusive. They all use this this technology called IDX, and IDX like takes all the listings from the multiple listing service, which is where agents put them, and then it brings them to Zillow and apartments.com like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So all those things are originated from the multiple listing service. I guess the MLS is like the agent to agent version of Zillow.
Okay.
If that's probably the easiest way to put it. That's how we see each other's listings and stuff. So I go in there and just say what time I want to show it. It goes to the agents or the property owner's email, and and then we go at that time pretty much.
Okay.
That's the basics of a showing.
Okay.
Yeah. But then there's a lot. That's just the beginning. It's not even the beginning. That's like the second or third step in the process.
Does it work you through an algorithm?
What?
Like other realtors or real estate agent? Is a realtor the same as a real estate agent?
No, it's actually not. So a realtor just means that you have your license, or you're a member of NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors.
So you have so basically you just have to take a test and then you become a realtor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I think my mom did that.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Do you know how many realtors there are in the United States right now?
How many?
Guess. The population's like 350 million, I think.
Okay, I'm going to guess 50 million.
No, that's a lot.
Oh, okay, let me guess again. 1.15 million.
1.15?
Yeah.
That's very close. It's 1.6. I thought you were going to actually get it. But a lot of people have actually left the business. So,
well, my mom's not a realtor. She got her license because she works in the home building industry. So she
cool.
had to get it to become the VP of sales for her company.
Yeah. So usually what companies like that and like and even too.
Oh, we're going to bleep those. We're going to bleep those.
Okay. So I'll just start over. So
No, it's okay. You don't have to. Just know that if you say anything in this area, I'm probably going to bleep it because I don't want anyone to know where I live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually smart. So buildings like that or companies like that your mom worked for, they usually sign an exclusive with like your license and that company. So the only business you can do is like through them, and you can't like go out. Like if you wanted to buy a house from your mom, I don't know how her whatever thing works.
I could only buy it from her company.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know. Yeah.
So like she couldn't show you like everything on the market.
Yeah.
But like a real estate agent could. But I don't know the exact difference. Like, to be honest with you, I don't know what the definition of a real estate agent is besides someone who like brokers sales, who brokers buying and selling
What
real
does a
estate.
broker? What does broker do? What is broker?
We find buyers and sellers and we get in the middle pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
We just fuck everything off.
Oh, that makes sense. Buyers and sellers, and you're in the middle.
Yeah.
And you negotiate with both parties.
Yeah. Usually there are a handful of people. There's 6 main people in the transaction. So there's the buyer and seller, obviously. There's the buyer's agent and the seller's agent.
That's what I just did.
What?
What?
And then there's the buyer's attorney and the seller's attorney.
Whoa.
And then we all just talk. That's pretty much it. There's just like some subsidiaries, extra people in there, but that's the main.
That's a lot of people, and it seems like a lot of people for kind of no reason.
Yeah. It's kind of confusing, isn't it?
But I guess when money's involved, you have to be as safe as possible to protect yourself and the things that you own and your house and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. And there's a lot of emotion that goes into it. And I think that having
Is that because people get sentimental over their home?
I think so. Wouldn't you?
No.
No. Do you think a lot of people would, though?
You know what? I take that back. My Nana, when she was selling her house in Illinois and moving to Arizona, I was devastated.
Yeah.
Because so many memories were made at that house.
Exactly.
But like if my parents sold their house right now, I wouldn't care. Because I grew up in so many different houses and there's not very many memories. No offense, mom and dad. Sorry. It's just that house doesn't mean as much to me as it does to you. Yeah. Wipe away your tears.
But a lot of people do that. So don't you think that people might like add value in their minds to the house and what it's actually worth because of those memories?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. So it's hard
Especially if you renovate.
Yeah. Oh my God. You put your own touches on it and like it feels like yours, but then you have to give it to somebody. And coming up with the right price that the buyer is willing to pay and the seller is willing to accept for those reasons is really hard sometimes. So
Have you ever had to tell a seller that their house wasn't worth what they thought it was?
every single listing appointment.
Stop.
Every
really?
listing appointment.
Are they like, ugh.
So at the end of, there's a lot of scripts in real estate. Did you know that?
No.
No. So a lot of what we do is scripted. If you're actually a professional and you have like a canned presentation, which adds value because there's like, think about it. You go to a mechanic and like they go through the same process. You go to the dentist, the hygienist comes in.
Okay. You just named two things that are like pretty high on the scammer list.
Scammer?
Oh yeah. Have you not
Wait,
heard about people?
dentists and mechanics?
Yes.
What do you mean scammer? What does
Okay,
that
first
mean?
of all, mechanics try to take advantage of women because women
Really?
know nothing about cars.
Well, I don't either.
Especially younger girls. Yeah, you don't either. I mean, they're going to probably try. They're not going to try and take advantage of you because you're a guy. That's just how it is. That's the world we live in. But women, especially younger girls, they will go to get their car checked out or their oil fixed, and the mechanic will be like, oh, you have this problem, this problem, this problem. It's going to cost you more. And either they'll be like, Dad, like the mechanic said, and the dad doesn't know anything about it, so they're going to pay, or they're going to go get a second opinion, just like dentists as well. And I've had a dentist before try to screw me over. A dentist told me that I had a cavity and that I should get it filled. What? And I was like, I've never had a cavity in my life. Not saying that it's not a possibility, but I've never had a cavity in my life. I take very good care of my teeth. Went to get a second opinion and didn't say anything. And they took x-rays, looked at everything. They said my teeth were perfect. No cavities, nothing.
What?
Later found out that dentists will try to fill cavities because it costs extra money, because a lot of them who are starting their own practice have a lot of debt.
Yes.
So they're trying to just get people to pay money for anything because you're not looking at the x-rays and saying that's not a cavity. Like they know best, but there's a lot of that going on. Yeah.
That's so much malpractice. And there's a lot of malpractice in a lot of businesses, I think. And there definitely is in our business.
That's why, ladies and gentlemen, it's so important to go get a second opinion if your insurance can cover it and if you have the extra funds.
For everything.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah.
I encourage people sometimes to go ahead. It depends on the situation. But I encourage people to sometimes get a second opinion, like if they're trying to hire me for either buying or selling a property, because
do you think that makes them trust you more?
I think it does, because it shows that like a little bit of my own detachment from the outcome. Because I'm confident in my services, so as long as I feel like I'm going to do a good job.
How old are you, by the way?
25. I just turned 25.
Happy
on
birthday.
Sunday.
Happy
Thanks.
birthday.
Yeah.
25 years old. He's a real estate agent. You're killing the game.
Thank you.
You live in a luxury building.
It's all right.
Yeah, you're right. It is all right. It's all right.
Thank you, Aubrie.
And how much do you make?
So
No, I'm just kidding. Don't answer that.
Why not?
I'm totally joking. Please don't answer that.
Okay. I tell people every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much do you make?
It's not as much as you would think, actually, believe it or not.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you a different question, but similar.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, you said that you have to like really put in the work and be prospecting every day to like try to get paid because you work off commission.
Exactly.
How many houses do you sell a month? Or apartments or condos?
Right now, the goal this year is like 2.5 a month. It's like 30 deals.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The average agent, do you know how many homes they sell?
No.
So let's do a little over under. So
wait, what's an over under?
You'll get it.
Okay.
So the percentage of agents that sold a home last year in 2023, is it over?
Oh, okay, I get it.
So so is it over?
I love this game.
Or under 40%?
Can you ask the question again?
The amount of agents that sold a home. So for sake of numbers, there's 1 million agents, just to make it easy. Out of those agents, what percentage of them sold at least only one home last year? Do you think it was? I
think it's over 40%.
More than 40%. What about over under 60%?
No, under.
Under 60%. Only 51% of agents sold more than one house last year. Sold more than 0 houses last year. Yeah, so that means 49% of agents didn't sell a single house last year.
Okay, that goes into a question I have about
really? Cool.
Yes.
Isn't that bad though?
That's terrible.
Like, how am I supposed to compete against someone like that
How did COVID change the real estate market?
There are so many different shifts. Wow, where do I start? Okay, so there was the exodus of the cities. Everybody was talking about that.
Which is everybody's leaving the city.
Yeah, a lot
Cities,
of people.
yeah.
A lot of
because
people
they
are
try to
leaving.
raise the prices. Nobody wants to fucking live in a shithole city
Yeah.
when they're. I mean, they're raising my rent here. I'm getting out.
Yeah, it's all market based. It's all market based because they can't raise the prices if nobody's willing to pay it, because then they won't get the money and they'll have a vacant building. So if the market is willing to bear it, they'll do it. And if it's not, then the prices go down. So that's what happened during COVID, at least in like the Hudson County market, because I studied that the most. So that's like Hoboken, Jersey City, Weehawken, Union City, Bayonne, those areas, Secaucus. So, well, Secaucus is more suburban. Let's leave that out. But Hudson County, so a lot of people had left. And on average, we're seeing about an inventory of like, just in Hoboken specifically for ease of numbers, we're seeing about like 150 units on the market at any given time throughout the year on average. Like that's for sale. And then during COVID.
Do you mean units in like a building like this, or
Condos, single families, 2 family, 3 family, 4 family.
but not homes? Like not
single
brownstones.
family. Yeah.
Oh, that is
exactly.
okay.
Everything from condos to like 4-unit like
Okay.
brownstones.
Okay.
So like that's all residential. Anything above that is commercial. 5 units.
And you don't
plus.
sell houses?
No, I do.
You do.
Condos.
We're not talking about those.
Single family is just houses.
Oh, single family
Yeah.
is considered
Single
a house.
family-
That's where I'm getting confused.
So that could it's if one owner is allowed to legally occupy the unit.
Okay.
Yeah, like you can't rent out other stuff.
Okay.
That's different. So they're pretty much like inventory had gone up a lot in the suburban markets, and then all those people just left the urban areas to get more space, because I think like personally, I think that people wanted to get away from people, and obviously like offices were shutting down in the city, so people didn't need that kind of proximity as much anymore. So it was easier for them to like fulfill that dream of going to the suburbs. And that happened all across the country. So any city you can think of, that was happening. People were leaving, inventory was going up. And then when there's more available and there's less buyers, the prices are going to obviously go down.
Yeah.
So people lost a little bit of equity, but it didn't get hit that hard, at least in this area. And then interest rates had dropped significantly down to like the low 2s at some point, like 2.5, 2.6%.
What is it at right now?
Right now, today, the conventional loans were at like 6.7%.
That's a lot.
And they were even higher.
Whoa.
So, so they had gone down extremely, and people were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like it's cheaper than ever. Actually, these were the lowest interest rates we've ever seen. It's cheaper than ever to borrow money.
Yeah.
So like if we're going to make the biggest purchase of our entire lifetime, and we're like a 35-year-old couple with a kid, and we want to expand and find our dream home, it's the best time to do it. But don't you think everybody thought that way? So there's like this huge competition going on in the suburbs. Places are getting left behind. Rent is dropping in the urban areas. And there's like a crazy stat that happened to me, because I was in the business. I've been in the business since 2021, which is like peak COVID.
Whoa.
So I rented out, I won't say the place, but I rented out a unit.
You could say it. I'm just going to bleep it.
It's all good. I rented out a unit. It was a 4-bedroom.
But I need to know where it was. Which building?
It was in
Thank you.
So I rented out a 4-bedroom unit in that building, and it was $3,800. So that was in 2021.
That's nothing.
The 4 bedrooms there
That is
are
nothing.
going close to $8,000 now.
Bro.
Yeah. So it was a pretty significant drop, but then obviously a lot of people believe in this area. So people came back. At what point that actually started happening, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. But by the numbers, inventory started like steadily declining in 2022. So like that kind of seemed like when everybody was coming back, like the end of 2022. And I think that sort of coincides with like what happened in office spaces. Like places started going back up or going hybrid or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Restaurants were back open, so people could, and plays and Broadway, like all that stuff was open. So I think that also coincided.
I have a
with
question for you.
Yeah.
It's about rent.
Sure.
I'm not sure if you know much about it since you're not someone who owns a building, but like when
I'm not.
I guess you are. Sorry. No, but when
I don't.
when a building tries to
It's
raise
closed.
your rent, Oh, that's really
Yeah,
embarrassing.
that's pretty embarrassing.
You know, not your crack. What are you gonna do without your crack? When
Be
buildings, yeah, I don't know. You're like meeting me in the middle now. I just feel like here, and you were here, but now, it's like a here.
You become like the people you surround yourself with.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a
Soundbite.
fact. That's Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, it might be actually. Are you serious?
No.
Okay. What was the question about rent?
Right. When someone tries to raise your rent, do they have the means to because they just can, or because it's actually going up in value? Because, for example, this building is trying to raise my rent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I take this little guy outside at night and I look up at the building, there's a lot of empty units. I can see.
How do you know?
I can tell.
Because they're dark?
They're pitch black versus like, at least on the side that I can see.
I'll tell you, bleep this out, but I'll tell you.
Sure. I'll
like
cut
I
it out.
don't even think you should put any of this stuff in. We can talk about it, but any
Why?
of like raising rent, I don't know.
Why?
Well, who cares actually? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I mean, if it's bad, I can take it out.
No,
but
it's
I just
not.
want to know why.
I'm just thinking about it. I don't know. Do you think it would be weird if they saw it and they were like,
No, because we're having a normal conversation. We're two
Okay.
people having I mean, are you best buds with the
No,
people who own this place?
I don't.
Yeah, we're fine.
It doesn't affect me. I'm trying to make sure I have your best interest at mind, in mind. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I cut so much stuff out of the last episode. It's fine. I understand.
It must be hard to
I
edit
am
all this shit.
curious. It takes a while.
What was? Sorry, what was the? Oh, I was going to tell you. So there's like 300 units in the building, and right now there's like 35 vacant. So
Oh, it's not a
that's
lot.
that's actually a lot, believe it or not,
Oh,
because
really?
average vacancy is like 5%, and that's about 10. So yeah, it's kind of a lot. Like at any given moment, like a healthy, stabilized.
By the way, anyone can Google that.
What?
Anyone can Google that.
That?
What you just said. Yeah.
No, actually, because the inventory on the website and pretty much all these websites for any of the buildings, like whether it's
Our lies.
cut that out, can't say then they know. It's a building in this area.
Oh.
You know the black one that's like Jenga and it's like 60
Yeah.
stories?
Yeah.
Domo Domo is there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
building,
I like that area
yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
that
me
area
too.
is nice.
It is nice. There's a lot of like office buildings over there, but the inventory online is not accurate. But if you go down, like they'll sometimes give you like a sheet and they'll show you what's available and what's not.
I have a picture of the sheet.
You do?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's from like 2-3 months ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So
But
wait.
it
So
depends on your lease.
what would you say? Like, what would be your advice on what I should do to try to get them not to raise my rent? Like they're trying to raise it like I don't know, $130.
Yeah. So
I don't want that though.
So 3% is usually going to be like your standard increase in a building like that has a lot of units.
But I've heard people tell me that like no, I got them to actually lower my rent.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Like if you can make a justified argument of like, look, I can move over to this building and get the same unit for $500 less, but I don't want to move and pay for all those costs. I'll meet you in the middle. Like, can you reduce it $250? Like if you have a reasonable argument for why it's not worth that much, then it's worth a conversation.
Yeah.
But it's up to management at the end of the day. Like
Have you ever had that conversation? Have you ever gotten somebody to like keep your rent the same or lower it?
personally,
Yeah.
like in my unit right now.
Or in your past units?
No,
'Cause
this is
you
my
lived
first. What?
Because you lived at.
No, I brokered the rental deal. That was for a friend. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I lived at my dad's until like I went to college, and then I lived at my dad's for 2 years during COVID, and then like 2021, half of that. When did we move in here? 2022, right? Yeah. So I lived with him for like a year and a half in 21 and 20, and then half of 22. And then I moved here. This is the first time I've ever paid rent, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I always tell people live with your parents as long as possible because paying rent is a fucking bitch.
Yeah, especially when you can't buy a property.
Well, you can't.
Well, suck it. Most people can't.
Yeah.
That wasn't a shot at you. I'm saying anybody.
You did say you. You did say you can't.
You
buy a
usually means
property.
you, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Tell
There's
that
a
to
mirror.
them.
There's
Tell
a mirror.
Tell
right
that to
there.
them.
When you can't buy a property because you're po.
Losers.
Oh,
Save your money, bitch.
I'm supposed to be a professional.
Yeah, it's fine. You're
Those
also
are-
a person.
Yeah, that's true. I like to have fun. I just told you I'm a professional fun haver.
Yeah.
I love life. Life is such a blessing. It's fun.
How do
Sometimes
you-
I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, yeah, I made it another day.
I think about that too.
Yeah.
You know, I was hanging out with a few of my girlfriends last night, and they are hypochondriacs. Love you girls, if you're watching, which I know you are. They're hypochondriacs. They started talking about blood clots. They started talking about fucking
What are they talking about?
insomnia. They started talking about brain aneurysms. They started talking about just things that could go wrong with your body.
Yeah.
And I started getting so much anxiety. I was like, I have to leave.
Bet.
Like, I can't. These are the things that I choose not to think about, that I literally will distract myself from thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
What happens today? I look at my leg, my right leg right here, and I have a fucking, like, I couldn't tell if it was a bug bite because it like was itchy at first, but it's like a little bump that's swollen. And I was like, do I have a fucking blood clot?
Yeah.
I'm like, did I manifest this from fucking talking about it?
Did you used to worry about things like that a lot?
No.
No?
I never think about those things.
Were you ever a hypochondriac, like before?
No, I like take the pain.
Yeah?
I take the fucking pain. Yeah.
Okay.
I take the pain. I fucking sprained my ankle. I've sprained my ankle twice. It was when I was younger and in volleyball, but like I was back off. I had a grade 3 sprain. I was playing the first game after 2 weeks of having basically broken my ankle. When you get a grade 3 sprain, it's worse than a break.
That's as far as you can go.
I've taken I'm double jointed, so my joints literally pop out and then like pop back in. Yeah.
My shoulders like go like that.
Yeah.
Crack.
Look.
Oh, that's worse than mine. Holy shit. I can
do that.
see it like pulling your delt. That's crazy.
Yeah. So this one has come out of the socket twice. I still fucking work out my arms.
Yeah.
I still work out my arms and like it fucking has been popping recently just because I've been like really trying to like, get these fucking muscles and shit. But what was the point of me saying this? Anyway.
You're Superwoman.
I literally, bro.
Yeah.
Actually, whenever I have a really hard workout, or whenever I don't want to do a workout, I always tell myself, what would Superwoman do?
Really?
I'm not even joking you.
And
then when I finish a workout, I'm like, instead of being like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I feel disgusting or whatever, I literally say, I'm fucking Superwoman.
Yeah.
I just worked out like a fucking superhero, literally.
I love that. I love that comparison. I do something similar whenever I make choices about going to the gym or like eating something better or running or whatnot. I always just think like, what would healthy Matt do? And then I do that. It causes me to walk up and down stairs a lot instead of taking elevators.
Yeah.
And like not eat.
Not eat in general or just not eat like shit?
I'm trying to finish my sentence. Sweets like this.
Please don't keep that in your pocket.
Why? Yeah,
because it's gonna melt.
It already is.
It
That's
is,
so nasty. Actually,
You
I was
could
bringing
put it in
it
the
for
fridge if
later
you
because I was
want.
like, if you wanted one, I
don't
have
eat
one.
those.
You don't have them?
I don't eat.
Ew. Is there sap on that tree?
Yes. First of all, that's a money tree. It just blessed you with luck.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool. I think I got it on my
You're
nose.
welcome. I will
Thank
be
you.
taking commission out of your next sale.
How much did this cost you?
Speak into the mic.
How much did this cost you?
I don't know. My mom got it for me.
Oh.
It was a gift.
Gifts
all
are
of
the
these
best. Gifts are the best. Nothing I'm wearing is a
Look
gift.
at my orchid.
You know what I was thinking?
She's blooming.
Oh my God.
Isn't she beautiful?
That's amazing.
I know. She's stunning.
I bought Saray an orchid and it was tiny. Mm-hmm. Like the pot was like, it was so small.
Saray is his girlfriend, everybody.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Yes. I love her.
She's
awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot.
No one cares. Anyway.
I'm never coming back.
No, I'm just kidding. I get weird when people get sentimental.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an anxiety thing.
No, I think it's my mother didn't coddle me enough.
That could be it.
Anyway, you got her an orchid.
I got her an orchid.
I actually do care about that because I have things to say about orchids.
Yeah, orchids are really beautiful plants, but so they don't need that much sunlight. Like they need indirect sunlight.
Yes, they do.
They do?
They do need sunlight.
I've read online they need indirect sunlight.
Yes and no.
No.
They need sunlight.
Well, you get sunlight.
This orchid. I just started hearing you breathe. It made me feel weird. I didn't like that.
I had no idea if you could hear me or not. So, can I tell you why? Your reaction was hilarious. All right, can I tell you why I did that?
Yeah. What the hell? Did you do that on purpose? You wanted to
Not to be weird, to get oxygen. So I have a
just
bad
breathe.
habit. I have a bad habit where I will like take really short breaths, or
I have that habit too.
yeah, or I'll forget to breathe for like a
You just
minute.
laughed so hard you cried. Look at the
I
camera.
know. I'm crying right now. Oh my god, that was hilarious. You were like stunned. So I have a bad habit where I either forget to breathe for like a minute, and while you're talking, you're using your air, obviously, so you need more. And then after a while, I actually did it twice before, and you just didn't realize.
No, I
I
don't
was
think
just
I
way
did.
too close on that one. And your mic, because your headphones are louder than mine, so I
Yeah.
couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
So-
You know, my acting coach tells me
Yeah.
to take a breath and then as you're speaking, release the breath.
yeah, that's what singers do.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to the orchid.
Um,
I found that my orchid, trust me, I do that too. I forget to
Yeah.
breathe sometimes.
and then you just need to go.
Yeah.
And I actually just got prescribed albuterol for before my workouts because I had COVID in December. So my lungs have been so weak.
Oh, really?
Am I really loud?
No, I
Okay.
was just fixing because sometimes it makes me feel weird.
So yeah, I just got it. Yes, I tried it for the first time yesterday. Am I pushing this? It's
Yeah.
sliding, right?
Yeah.
I was like, it's leaving. So yeah, I just got albuterol and I tried it for the first time yesterday. So that's also part of it too. My breathing has been like, I don't know, just less. Just
Yeah.
like I'm fine. But
Tighter?
yeah, when I run, actually, my
Yeah.
chest was getting so tight. Like I ran half a mile like 3 weeks ago, and it was like so uncomfortable. It literally felt like someone was like pushing on my chest for
Yeah.
like 2 hours afterwards.
You should do a sleep study to see if it's affecting your sleep.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it definitely
Yeah,
is.
that sucks.
Honestly, I should get back on the Whoop train first and like get one of those and try to like measure that for 2 weeks because I had that, but I gave it back.
You know
But
what
it's
you should also do is like get a pot, put some water in it, let it steam, and then put your face over it and
Yeah.
breathe some steam in just to see if you can like
Yeah.
loosen things up a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also have like something that makes me congested like in my throat.
Is it dairy?
No, it's like it's just like there's a thing in my throat that
Is it GERD?
no, it's a hernia. It's a hiatal hernia.
Oh,
Do you know what that is?
Sucks.
Yeah. So my dad had it. Mine's small. He had to get his removed, but luckily he was 65 when he had it removed. So I was like, all right, whatever. As long as I don't eat spicy foods and whatever.
That sucks. You
Yeah.
can't eat spicy food.
I mean, I can, just not too much, because it
No, I could
causes
never do
like
that.
crazy reflux, and I have to take stuff for that too. This is like purposelessly personal.
No, people want to know.
About that?
People want to know.
Okay. So,
People like things that are relatable.
yeah, I guess so. This is very relatable.
Yeah.
It's true. No, it sucks having this. I'm like, I love spicy food. And also, like, when you eat a lot, like, your stomach gets backed up, obviously. So, like, when
Like
you
a
have
lot of food or a lot of spicy food.
just food in general. Like,
Yeah.
if you're either really full or you have a lot of spicy food. So, like, it's actually really interesting. This is going to get sciencey for just, like, a second.
I love it.
But, so, do you know what happens, like, in your mouth, in like, your taste buds when things are spicy? Like, do you know what your, like, reaction is?
Isn't it? I feel like I know the answer to this, but I'm just guessing at this point. Isn't it like you can't even taste spicy foods? It's just that your taste buds are inflamed, or something.
Maybe. That might be true too. But I know what your body does is it burns. So in order to like cover up the burn and try to like make it feel better, your mouth produces like a lot of mucus. So like kind of gross. But it like covers it up as a way to like cool down the burn. So
That's why you're like almost drooling when you're eating spicy foods, and you're like,
in a weird way. Am I the only one who feels like I spit a lot after
Yeah.
I eat spicy food because
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God.
I do feel a lot of mucus wanting to come up from the backs, like that's
Yeah.
thick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to like coat and like cool down the spiciness, which
Yeah.
it doesn't always work, but it's your body's mechanism.
Yeah. Which
yeah.
is interesting why they say milk helps with spicy, because it's literally just mucus pus. It's literally just cow pus. Milk is literally just, I drink milk. I don't drink milk. I eat ice cream and I eat cheese.
What replacements do you have for milk?
I mean, I only have like almond creamer
That's
in
it?
my fridge for my coffee.
Do you have cereal ever?
You know, I actually have a thing of Fruity Pebbles, a thing of Raisin Brans, and then a thing of some like chocolate puffs that are healthy.
Yeah.
The Fruity Pebbles, I would like to talk about this.
That's good variety.
To the
by
audience, I would like to talk about this. My dad came into town for Thanksgiving and said, Aubrie, I need you to get me a little treat, a little something, something. Because my dad is the person who made me who I am, a very funny person, and a person who's addicted to sweets. Okay, so he said, can you get me Fruity Pebbles? I said, yeah.
My water.
Yeah, I said, yeah, Dad, of course, I can get you Fruity Pebbles. And then he also wanted to get Raisin Bran. He leaves. Now I'm stuck with Fruity Pebbles. So one night I opened the Fruity Pebbles. I fucking love Fruity Pebbles. Used to. But he said, no, the Fruity Pebbles, but I'm a nice person. So I went ahead and got him Raisin Bran Crunch. So much. Hadn't had them in years. I opened the Fruity Pebbles, pour myself a bowl, put some milk in that bitch, take my first bite. Is absolutely disgusting and fucking foul. Fruity Pebbles are disgusting. No one should touch them. No one should eat them. No one should let their kids have them. They're terrible. When I tell you this man did not touch a single thing of the Fruity Pebbles, okay? I was sad. It made me sad. Whatever. He didn't want them. And ever since that moment, now I'm afraid to open the Raisin Bran Crunch. So you asked me, do I eat cereal? No.
It sounds like the answer is yes.
Unless it's Honey Bunches of Oats.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That's what I had through college, actually.
Banger.
Every meal, every day. 4 years. Nothing else.
So you were talking to me about the science behind spicy foods and your hernia and...
It's a weird word.
A hernia?
It was very interesting. We were talking about your hernia.
Oh, wait. It's hernia or
No.
a hernia?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's called hernia. I think it's just hernia.
You have a
I
hernia.
think it's one hernia.
Okay.
Weird word.
Do you have any other body issues?
Let me see. I don't know.
Also, I'm sorry I shut you down earlier when you said I love her, and I was like, hey, no one cares.
That's
Sorry
all right.
about that.
I love her. She's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure you love somebody. Who do you love the most?
Myself.
Really?
No.
And I love myself.
I probably
Kendrick
love
Lamar.
Wiggy the most.
What human do you love the most? Is it your mom?
I do love my parents. I do love my mom and
Seems
my
like
dad.
you guys have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Did you always?
No. I used to fucking hate her. Oh, it's freezing in here, by the way, huh?
Yeah, I know.
I don't keep
'Cause-
my heat on anymore.
Yeah, because of the problems going on.
No, just because it fucking smells bad.
Seriously?
It stinks.
Wow.
You can smell the heat when it turns on, and I don't
That's
like
so
it.
odd.
And also, it makes my eyes so dry.
What is that like little plastic thing you have on it?
It blows the air.
Did you
that
buy?
way?
You bought that?
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't
It's
come with
because
it.
when I'm sitting on the couch right here, it'll just like
Oh, yeah.
all the way down.
I get that. Damn, there's a lot of vents.
Okay, question. What is the worst experience you've had with a buyer or a seller?
I actually need to think about that.
Sure.
I don't know. I try not to like.
Have you ever had a bad experience?
Yeah, I've definitely had bad experiences. So there's a deal that I had actually my first year. It was just under $1 million, and then I got
The house was selling for just under $1 million.
Yeah, it was like a commercial building.
Okay.
And it was in Jersey City here, and so we listed it just below $1 million, and then I got above $1 million because there were a couple offers.
You got an offer above $1 million?
Yeah, there were two above $1 million for it, and we had accepted it. And there's a process after you accept an offer called attorney review, and that's when remember the people, the attorneys just like pretty much take the contract that the agents draw up, and then they make it better, pretty much. And then once they're done, then you're under contract and you start inspections and stuff.
Okay.
Attorney review usually takes like 2 days, maybe like 3, just because they have to like go through all the language, and I don't know what they do, to be honest with you. They just do their job.
Yeah.
This attorney review took about like 30 days, and they were asking for all this time for just so many different reasons.
Was someone having second thoughts?
No, it wasn't even that. So what they were trying to do, ultimately the deal ended up falling apart, and then I was like, okay, let's go back to the other offer. The other offer was like, well, since there's not the other one that we're competing against, we're going to drop back down to the listing price of 9 something. And I told my seller about that, and he was like, you know what? I was like, nah. So at this point, I've invested.
I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to raise the price since 2 people wanted it above.
Yeah,
Or we're
but-
going to go for it for more.
Now think about it. There's 2 buyers, so one dropped out. The only reason they went up is because they're trying to beat the other one. So since there's no one else to beat, he's like, well, I'm not going to pay the price that I needed to pay before because this guy's not in the game anymore.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm just going to drop back down. So I told my seller, and like, it's been about 60 days. I invested about, I don't know, probably like 12 hours of my time and like $500 on marketing at this point just to like try to sell it, which was working.
You had to pay your own money?
Yeah, it's all mine because we get paid, like part of the commission is the marketing.
Right, but what did the $500 go towards?
Aerial shots.
Damn.
Yeah, marketing materials like.
But then you charge that back to the person who's selling, right?
The seller pays the commission. Yeah.
Okay,
So like
got it,
I was gonna make $20,000 off that deal. Did not obviously make anything off of it, but like, and you invest a lot of time, energy, effort, and money into any deal. So that's why like it has to be saleable, or the buyer has to be motivated, or else you're kind of just like showing them around a gallery of houses for no reason.
Yeah.
So we went back to the other one, and I told the seller, I was like, all right, we have this other offer, like let's go for it. He goes, I don't really want it. It's only like 20 grand below where it was before.
Yeah.
So it's not that much different. And it's still like a fair price too. Like I thought the market thought the listing price was the right price anyways. We just got lucky. And he was like, no, I'm just going to like refinance the property and hold on to it. It's like, okay. Because that kind of sucks.
Does he still have to pay you any sort of anything?
No, it's totally free. Yeah. If nothing closes, even for like rentals where you're only going to make like $800 to like $1,500, maybe like $2,000 if it's good. I could show, like I've shown people like 15 apartments before.
No
And how
way.
long does that take? Think about it. It's at least 30 minutes like per apartment, sometimes less in Hoboken because they're so close.
Are you also driving them around?
Yeah, you drive them around. So, and like you spend hours and hours of your time.
Wow, what a fucking waste.
Oh my God, there's another
Is
one.
that why maybe you don't want to be like working all the time because you know that half of it is a waste of your time?
That's a mindset that creeps in sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you sort of trick yourself. So that's why like I'm actually going to take this in a different direction and say that the lessons that I learned from these are like first pre-qualify really well, ask the tough questions up front so that it makes the process easier going forward. You'd rather find out that someone's not a good fit. I do sound nasally. You'd rather find out that someone's a good fit or not a good fit like immediately in the first 30 minutes of talking to them than 7 to 8 hours or 12 hours of work down the line, because then it's just a waste for everybody, really.
What are the tough questions that you ask these people to know if they're a good fit?
All right, so you gotta like get basic necessities out of the way, like how much. So for a buyer, for example, it's like how much space do you need, how many bedrooms, when do you need to move in, what's your current living situation. That's a really important one because you can find out like what's gonna happen to them at the end of their lease. So like if a lease is ending, for example, then typically that's going to motivate people to move because it's kind of like a firm deadline. And as you creep up to it, like there's more urgency that gets placed under them. But for a seller, you ask questions like, what is this going to do for your life? Will you price the home to sell? If the home doesn't sell within 30 days, are you willing to do a price reduction? Or what do you think the appropriate steps would be at that time if it doesn't sell? So like things like that.
And if they don't have like sure answers, do you typically kind of step back and say, I don't really want to work with you? Or
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you can also refer them to another agent because the cool thing about this business is you can actually collect a 25 to 30% referral fee.
Oh, cool.
So let's say someone moves from Hoboken down to like Tampa Bay, Florida. I know a couple agents in Tampa, so I'd refer them down there. And let's say that person buys a home with them. Like they buy like a $2 million house. It's like their retirement home. The commission on that is probably going to be like $50,000, and then I would collect like 25% of that just for the referral. Yeah, so you could get like
that's really
12
nice.
grand, 15 grand. Just
that's what my agents do.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
They collect 20%.
Oh, of your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard, isn't it?
I mean, it's fair.
20 is a lot, isn't it?
20's it's a good amount.
Yeah.
For
For modeling, is it different though? Because I know that like acting 10 to 15 is like.
Well,
normal,
I
right?
know that like managers, I think when people have a manager, the manager typically takes 10%. And then if you're a big time actor, then you have a lawyer, and then a lawyer takes 5 to 10%. And then you have your agent who takes 10 to 20%. And you're just left with like 50%.
Yeah. And you know, it's kind of funny that you bring, and then you have to pay taxes, right? On that money. So it's like 35% really of what you get. Or even less. Who knows?
Like 20%.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's kind of funny, like when I throw out numbers like that, like, oh, you collect a referral check of $12,000, or like I was going to make $20,000 off of this deal. it's not really that. Like, let's say, for example, you get 10,000. The way I usually break it down is I put 25% in a tax account, like immediately. So that's gone. And that's like after write-offs and everything. So, cause you only pay taxes on like your net. So like, let's say you make like 100 grand and then you spend 30, like you're only paying taxes on 70. So I put 25% in a tax account. So I'm left with 7,500. And then I put 10% in like a down payment account to save. So I'm left with 65% right there. I have 30% towards business expenses. So that's 35%. So I'm usually left with like 35% of whatever you're getting.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But you have to be smart with your money because like it'll go. Like like you said at the beginning, like it's so easy to spend and it's not easy to invest or save.
Dude, I know people who don't save at all.
Yeah, there's probably people,
and they just are like living paycheck by paycheck.
Isn't it crazy? Like people can
and they're like my age or older.
They know who they are.
I don't know if they do.
Really?
I think they would. Yeah, I think that they would say.
Have another snack?
How many fucking things do you have in your pocket?
You know what
You're like
thinking?
Mary Poppins.
Just get my umbrella.
Yeah.
On the way over here, I was thinking like you can tell a lot about someone by like what they carry in their pockets. What do you have in your pockets?
I have so many questions for you.
You do?
And we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah. But the positive lesson that I will say, just to end that on a good note, is like, yeah, you obviously learn to ask better questions, but you also have to be detached from the outcome. Like you have to just show up on time, tell the truth, be honest with people. That's the same thing. It's redundant. Control what you can control, and then let the world do what it's going to do. You can't be affected by the outcome of things.
Do you ever come to a buyer or a person who wants to buy and you're like, please don't waste my fucking time?
It depends if they can take it or not. You have to read personality styles. You have to like be versatile because you treat people differently when I think just not even just in business, but in life in general. Like, you know how you kind of act a certain way around some friends and then there's like a different version of you with other friends. And then like there's the parent version of you. At least, I don't know, at least I have that. I have like different ways of just different, how do you say it?
Will you turn the mic a little towards you?
Sure.
Thank you. There you go.
How do I say it? Like
I don't know.
Different
because
personas, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know someone who... can't say that. Actually, never mind. I was going to say I know who is the same around everybody, but that's not true. They're not.
Like you just kind of filter things and, you know, you got to be a little bit more enthusiastic with some people. You got to be a little bit more like stern with some people. Give some people more facts.
I would call that boundaries. You have different boundaries with everybody. I don't think it's a personality change. I think it's just you have different boundaries with everybody.
Yeah, it's like how much do you give them?
Yeah, exactly.
Like how far do you go?
Yeah. Do you have your wall
that.
broken down with them, or are you going to be stern with them because they've tried to fuck you over before? For me, it's like makeup and hair. They'll like, I have certain boundaries with different hair stylists and different makeup artists. Yeah, because some people will be like super aggressive with my hair, and I have to tell them, can you please be gentle? Like, I don't have to tell everybody to be gentle with my hair. There's a very specific type of hairstylist that I have to be like that with. Or a client, can you wear a size 7 shoe? No, I'm not going to. But it's just it's just for 5 minutes. I'm like, they do not fit me.
Why would they care what kind of shoe you wear?
No, it's like the client has a specific look. So they'll have a shirt, pants, and a pair of shoes that are like for their company.
And it can't be too big or too boxy.
I wear a size 9.5. And they brought a size 7.5 shoe and say, I'll put the shoe on and I say it doesn't fit. And they want me to shoot in that shoe. It's just for 5 minutes. And I'm like, if I put this shoe on my foot, even for a minute, my foot, it's going to cut my foot. It's going to rip my skin. Like, why would I do that? I'm not gonna jeopardize my foot at the cost of you for this job. Like
for the photo, Aubrey.
No, I'm not doing that.
I wouldn't do it.
But like that's
Protect
the
yourself.
kind of boundaries that I'm talking about. Is there are clients who will say, okay, we're gonna go out and buy your size, or can you please squeeze? Can you do it? No.
Yep.
No, I'm not gonna fucking, because what if I have to work tomorrow, or I want to work out tomorrow and I'm not gonna be able to put on my shoes.
Exactly. Yeah, we call it versatility. Like in the coaching program that I'm part of, it's versatility. Like they say that there's so many different personality tests out there, but the one that my coach uses is amiable, which is like the nice, sometimes shy person.
Oh my God, this is like Divergent.
What's that?
The movie?
Oh, like
this is literally like Divergent. There's 4 different types. Yeah.
And then there's the expressive, the person who's extremely talkative, they just like can't get enough of themselves sometimes. Like they're often egotistic or like very high enthusiasm. There's the driver who's like very stern. Like think about just typical like male boss in a movie, just because that's the stereotype. Like that's,
Of course, it's a man.
that's just the stereotype. I mean, think about it.
Well,
I am open to.
The Proposal, Sandra Bullock.
I didn't remember that.
Oh, it's such
Oh
a good
my God,
movie.
wait,
It's such a
never
good movie. And then the fourth one, sorry.
And then the fourth one is the analytical, someone who's like very focused on numbers and like facts and figures mean a lot to them. That's how they make decisions. They can often have personalities that are like bigger personalities also. But
I feel like I know a few people that are all four.
yeah,
Which
they're
one-
versatile.
Yeah, okay, I
Yeah,
see. Which
exactly.
would you say that you are?
So I typically fall under, at least in my business, from the way that I've studied it, like I'm very analytical with the business. But like I think I'm not really driver ever. I think I have like subcategories of like amiable and expressive, because like I like to express myself, but like you often can't. Not can't, but I don't know. I
want
feel like
to.
I can't. Yeah. And then just like I think.
Why do you feel like you can't?
I don't know. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Yeah. Do you think it's because of professionalism? It'll get in the way?
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're young in business, people will like look at you as like, oh, they're young, they're inexperienced. Like I can't trust them because they haven't done it before.
Do people typically ask you how old you are when they meet you?
No,
Okay,
They
that's
don't.
good.
Exactly.
So then why is that a worry?
it's just a mindset. I don't worry about it too much
Oh,
anymore.
so it's self-judgment.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's mainly coming from me. No one's ever really told me that.
How does that make you feel?
I think it makes me feel like I should just be myself and just use the system that I know works pretty much, and let my personality be what it's going to be, and just
Yep.
stay professional.
Yeah.
Don't say things that are stupid and control what I can control, and that's fine.
I find myself doing that a lot too. Is I obviously self-judge. I self-judge, and I will try to tell myself like, you don't need to be extra right now. Like you don't need to be that, even though I can feel it coming on. Like, do you ever have that feeling where you're like, ooh, I could say so many things right now, or ooh, I have this energy about me that just wants to come out and like just like blurt,
At somebody.
or like to a client or a buyer or a seller, like you just want to
Yeah.
like, oh, I could say so many things
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like be myself, but like I gotta hold it. I gotta keep it together.
I feel like you need to be more filtered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Trying to find a better therapist right now.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine quit.
Oh,
Just
I use
like-
BetterHelp.
I use Talkspace. Same thing.
Okay,
Have you
yeah.
heard of Talkspace? It's like the
Actually, I think someone told me about that.
yeah. It's cool. They took my insurance and they have pretty decent providers. But yeah, it's kind of hard to find a good one, honestly. And
It
I was
takes a
really
couple
disappointed.
times.
Yeah, when she like I've been with like 6 different people, and like when I met her, I was like, oh, this is like fantastic. Like she just understood. Like she's very how do I say it? She like sees things from a different perspective than like most therapists do. And she's good at like the whole repeating and affirming and like asking questions, like the basic prompts that you get.
My couples therapist was like that.
Oh yeah,
My regular therapist just listens to me vent.
yeah. That's what I like.
I don't like it.
Really?
I want to problem solve. I want someone to tell me this is what you said and this is what it seems like.
Yeah.
And how are you going to be better in the future? Or what do you want to do to change that? Or do you want to change? I want
Yeah.
someone to ask me those kind of questions.
Totally. But wait, to backtrack on what I just said, you still want that time though to vent, right?
I want like 10 minutes to vent.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
want to go over that.
Okay.
And I want it to be broken up.
I hear
I want
you.
her to pause me at like 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, I want her to pause me. But I don't want to
hear you.
vent anymore.
That makes sense.
I've been spending like 45 minutes venting the whole time. And then the last 2 minutes where she's like, okay, like I have to go in 2 minutes, but you know, this is what happened. I'm like, I've been
Yeah.
talking for 45 minutes and nothing got solved. I can do that with my friends.
Yeah. But will you really?
I do it all the time.
You do?
I do it to my mom. I do it to Maudie. And I do it to like some friends at work sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's like having the discipline. I think something that's so good about like having a coach or like a therapist, for example, is like the accountability of having it in your schedule and like making sure you do it. Cause it's so easy when something's not in your schedule to ignore it.
Absolutely.
And like, I think things build up in our heads so much that like just having it scheduled and just like emptying your thought dumpster is like so helpful sometimes.
Yeah, but you don't do it by yourself. Like, are you ever at home and
no.
you do you have roommates?
Yeah.
So you can't really do it.
Well, sometimes I do. Like sometimes I'll actually like go to the mirror and I'll just be like, "Are you being like your best self today?" Like I'll just talk to me. I'm like, I'm like, who the fuck is better than you today? Like, why would you not have a good day?
Yeah.
Like, what's the purpose of that? Like, are you sure this is the right friendship for you? Are you sure this is the right living situation, the right business?
I think you should ask yourself, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when you say who is better than you today, I think you should ask yourself, am I a better version of yesterday's me?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because then it
It's
makes
like,
you
yeah,
seem a
it's-
little bit like you're full of yourself.
I know, but I like, you kind of like that. It kind of like gives you energy in the, like, if you're not feeling well, sometimes you need like a kick in the ass, and you're just like, why are you acting so low? Like, be a better version of yourself. Like, whatever. Like, who is more worthy of this job, for example, than me? Or like, who is more worthy to like make the kind of money?
Will you put your mic closer to you?
Do I keep
Sorry.
moving it?
No, you keep moving.
Yeah, I know. I move a lot.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's okay.
I move all the time.
The only reason I'm not moving a lot is because of this.
Yeah.
It's keeping me grounded.
Is that good?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit further. There you go.
Okay. Try to stay here.
Sorry. I can tell you have ADD.
Yeah. I do move a lot.
Yeah.
I try not to.
It's okay. In the other podcasts that I was recording, I'm definitely moving a lot. I feel at ease today because I worked out already. Do you think if someone walked into my apartment and saw my decor, it would sell?
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
No, I do. I like it. I got a good vibe when I came in here.
Don't lie to me.
I've seen these units before. Like
But like my furniture.
Yeah.
It's all
I do.
right.
I like that they match. I think it's cool. And I think those pillows are dope. I think the white blanket matches with the table and the pots that you got. The raised plant is nice.
Do you like the taped plant?
The taped plant? The yellow thing on it?
No, it has tape on the white part.
Oh, oh my God. I didn't even notice. I thought that was like a brown design.
Really?
I'm serious.
I had to tape it because I cut it with my box cutter.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. Where is your dream place to sell homes?
That's so cool. That's awesome, actually. Palm Beach Island, Florida.
Why?
It's like $80 million homes there.
And it's for the money, right? It's not because of the location?
Well, I love the location.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're spending that much money on it, it's got to be a great place.
How
Have
do
you been
you-
there before?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't
It
that
is
where
so
the
cool.
Yankees spring train?
I don't know exactly. I know they're in Florida. I don't know where they are. But Palm Beach Island, no, there's no like baseball fields on the island. They're probably in Palm Beach if they're there.
Mm-hmm.
But the island is just like, it's a strip that's separated by, what's that
Water?
bay? It's like a. It's
Oh,
not
it's
really-
like Miami,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
on the other side.
No, same side, east side.
Oh.
Yeah. East side.
Don't be throwing those gang signs.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah,
You never know who's watching.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Also, you're white.
Who are you marketing this to?
You're not in a gang.
Yeah, I should be careful what I do. I'm on camera. So I feel like I'm being myself though.
Yeah, you are.
Which is
Facts. Facts. That's true.
Back to our original thought.
You just don't want to get canceled for throwing up gang signs.
Yeah, I've
When
never
you're not
been
in a
canceled
gang.
before. I don't pump enough content to be canceled.
Also, a lot of your content is very professional. Okay,
Thanks.
anyway, Palm Beach.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
What's your like goal in life? Like what's your dream?
I want to be happy and I want to make other people happy and I want to make lives easier.
By selling homes to them?
No.
What's your dream job?
My dream job, this is actually, I think about this a lot. Something I would love to do, actually, is just travel the world, make videos about it, share it with people, try a bunch of new foods and go to new places and experience new cultures. That's what I'd love to do. And like help people and donate money and volunteer along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that-
your dream life.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Is there anything that you would want to do like to make money? Like what would be your dream job? Like to make money? Like that's your dream life. I totally get it, respect it. That's a lot of
Okay.
at a certain point in my life I wanted to
Baseball
do that too.
player.
Okay,
Yeah.
you want to be a baseball player.
Yeah, I would love to be a baseball player. I'm actually trying to. I shouldn't say the town, right? That I'm
It
trying
doesn't
to
matter.
coach. Okay.
Unless you don't want people to know.
No, I don't. Well, I guess I'll keep it to myself until it happens. But I'm trying to actually coach a high school team
Oh, cool.
nearby.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just got in
Nice.
touch with the deputy clerk. He I don't even know what that person does, honestly.
yeah.
But he has a lot of connections with the town, and
Uh-huh.
he sent my information over to the high school, the head coach of the high school team.
What
So-
position did you want to play?
What would I play center field?
Okay.
I love center field because
Mm-hmm.
first you're in control of the outfield. Like you control like the shifts usually between like the right and the left fielders.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that, being in that position of like authority. And you also get so much area to like free roam. There's the opportunity for robbing home runs. There's the opportunity for diving catches. There's the opportunity for really long throws and like gunning people out 300 feet away from you at home. It was the most fun position that I played when I played.
And so your dream life would be traveling the world, trying new foods, helping people along the way. What inspires you to do that? And you said also taking videos, doing that. What inspires you? Do you watch a lot of like YouTube videos where people travel, like travel vlogs, and you enjoy it?
Yeah, I watch a handful of those. I've gotten inspiration from some people who do that. I actually had the privilege of like meeting one of them in person. Did you see that photo I posted like 2 days ago or yesterday? Like you at 21? Like me in the blue suit hanging off the, know the Edge building?
I don't watch people's stories.
Do you know the Edge building at Hudson Yards?
Yeah.
So do you know the experience they have there where you can like hang off the edge?
I did not know that they had an experience like that.
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Whoa.
So
they had you harnessed?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. So this guy, Brett Conti, you can look him up. He's a great YouTuber. If you're like into like travel content like that, he does more New York stuff now just because I think he was trying to work on like the business side of the YouTube. So he stayed here for a little bit, but now he's back to like traveling again.
Cool.
He posted something on Instagram and he was like, hey, I'm doing a contest. Like I'm going to give a special experience away to one of our viewers. And he was like, you got to send in a quick video, just like horizontal on your camera. Like tell us he's like your name, what you currently do for work, like a big fear you have, and then like one of your goals in life. So I just like shared it. And
what'd you say? What was your fear?
I'll tell you. So like, think about where I work. Like I work in Hoboken, and at that point I was living at my dad's house. So I was walking down the waterfront to the train, to the NJ Transit to get there. And when you're on the waterfront, what do you see? The Edge.
Whoa.
So I had no idea what the experience was. It was crazy. Like it was very serendipitous. And I'm like taking the video. I started, the Edge is in the background the whole time because I'm walking, I'm just in the perfect direction to have that happen. So I was like, hey, I'm Matt, I'm a real estate agent. I said, what did I say my fear was, to be honest with you? I don't know.
Heights?
No, it wasn't heights because that's what they were looking for.
Oh,
it was between me and one other person and his fear was heights. I think my fear was like staying in the same place for the rest of my life and like never growing. Or like not being able to like actually have the life I want. It was something like that, personal. It wasn't like spiders or dogs. Like, I think there's bigger fears than that. I think
there's actually a TikTok going around where this girl says if you ask a girl what her fear is, she'll say something material like a spider or snakes or heights. And if you ask a guy what his biggest fear is, he'll say something that's like super in depth.
Sorry, no,
you have to go soon.
I have a 3:30. It's all right.
Okay. But if you ask a guy what his fear is, he'll say like something really deep, like what you just said, like never being able to change, or like staying in the same place in my life.
I think it's a TikTok trend for a reason. I think
but you just proved it.
Well, I was one example. It's kind of correlation, not causation, though. Think about it.
My biggest fear is
I think everyone's different.
money.
I think that there's a lot.
Oh, that's so sweet, Wiggy. That's so nice.
He's a great guy.
He is a great guy. Yeah.
He's got a good little beard too going on.
Yeah. Okay, we have to wrap this up.
Sure.
If what is one piece of advice that you would give someone in your line of work?
In my line of work, I would say choose a schedule that works for you and I would say choose a schedule that works for you and follow it at least 90% of the time. You're going to have times that are difficult, and you're going to have moments where you do want to quit, or you want to find something that's a little bit more secure in life, so that your life feels a little bit easier right now. But just remember that there's so much upside in the business that you work in, and there are people succeeding out there. So just find one of them or a handful of them, ask them what they do, shadow, mentor them, and just emulate them, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You simply just have to find the system that's already been proven and works. So become one of the greats by emulating the greats. That's what I'd say.
Thank you. That was great.
Yeah.
Reminded me a little bit of 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene.
I never read it, actually.
I'm still reading it.
It's long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really long.
I've heard about that.
Do you have anything else that you want to share with a public audience or me?
I want to say just remember that life is brief and enjoy your days. Yeah, just enjoy your days. Try to spend as much time as you can doing things that you like, and I think it's going to lead to a happier life.
I also would like to add, find hobbies. If you have off time, find a hobby. If you're depressed, it's probably because you don't have a lot going on in your life and you need to or you have a chemical imbalance. I don't mean to take anybody's diagnosis away from them. I know some people who are sad and they don't have a lot going on in their life. So don't spend your days sad and worrying. Do something. Find something. And that's the end of our podcast.
As Tony Robbins says, actually, if you can create a radical change in your physiology, everything will change in your mind.
I like that.
It's really interesting.
It is interesting.
And it's just a fancier way to say what you just said. Mm-hmm. Do more things and you'll feel happier.
Yeah.
And I find that to be so true.
Objects in motion tend to always stay in motion. And that could be you.
We touched on so many areas of science today.
I know. That's what we're because
Physics,
we're cool.
Chemistry, anatomy,
Taste buds.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, everybody.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for
Thanks,
tuning
Aubrie.
in to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming over. I really appreciate your time. Oh, he didn't like that. I really appreciate your time and effort.
Yeah.
And men, comment what your favorite sport to watch is, because I know you're watching.
And be more vulnerable. You don't have anything to be afraid of. No one cares.
We're gonna bleep that.
Why?
Be vulnerable.
Yeah, why not?
It's disgusting.
Cover up all of your deepest fears and insecurities.
That's what I do, baby.
That's a joke.
Okay, we out. Bye.
Goodbye.